These sports have taught me so much about like the way to actually get something done is not to be hyped up at all. It's to be yourself completely and to understand exactly where you are in that moment. And that is the most powerful place that you can be as a human being. And that's not easy to learn. Like to take the framework that you've been given by whatever experiences that you've had and to turn away from that, it's scary. It's terrifying, honestly. Like, I mean, your whole reality kind of crumbles at that point. And you feel as if you have nothing. You feel as if you're empty. And dealing with that emotion is something that is hard to do. And it's hard to accept.
This was one of his big snowboards. So that was me just regretting it completely, saying, I don't think this is a good idea. He's leaning in. That's when he cared about matching his board to his helmet. So he went through a big helmet phase. Isn't this so cute? He's so little. He's going to be so mad at me. But he wrote confidence bucket on it. Just great. I'd rather him wear one. He wasn't wearing one the other day. Gave me a heart attack. So Jake, as a kid, I will tell you, maybe TMI, but actually did 12 flips before he ever left the womb. I called the doctor and was very concerned that he was all tangled up inside the cord. And the doctor said, is he still kicking? Like, do you feel him? I'm like, oh yeah. And he's like, nope, you just got yourself a flipper.
Let me see again. Just a minute, baby girl. Watch Jake. Watch Jake. He's coming down a hot dog hill. Oh my
goodness. He's a natural, right? He's a natural athlete. The day that I knew that he was gonna love it is he took his deck off of his skateboard, took his shoes and started taping his shoes to the skateboard deck, right? Because there was a little mountain of snow in our street. And I just sat there and I'm like, okay, so we went there. I actually screwed him into the deck, took him over there, and he went down the hill, and he just loved it.
Hey guys, Jake's got his first snowboard with actual bindings in them. So Mama brought him over to give him his first run down the hill, just before the snow melts. There he goes. There he goes. There he goes. Steered around the tree. Whoa! Awesome, buddy! There he goes, right over the cliff.
Mommy? Mommy?
Jake!
Me some more.
Awesome, buddy! Awesome!
My name is Jake Suchouski. I've been snowboarding since I was 4 years old. When my aunt took me to Keystone for the first time when I was 6 years old, we were just driving up I-70 and I could not take my eyes off the mountains. I loved it so much. Just from the first moment, I couldn't imagine riding down one of them one day. And yeah. When I was younger, what used to motivate me was more just the excitement and the way that I felt, like my heart beating fast and just like the intensity. It feels like, you know, it's like a playoff game or something, you know, every time you're doing a trick, because it's like you can get hurt every time you try something. So it just like that aspect always kind of grabbed a hold of me, and I was like, oh, I want to face fear unlike anyone else.
There was a transition when Jake was about 14 or 15 years old. He was competing at a national level with snowboarding, had gotten some success, and there was this decision that he had to make of whether he was going to try to go for it big or whether he was going to go and be a, quote, normal high school kid. We had already a contract under review with Sean White's coach that we, through some connections, were able to meet with. Bud Keene, really amazing guy. And we were about to sign that for him to go, and he decided to stop.
Mommy? 'Cause I want to go. 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 'Cause
Yeah, so the diving, you're welcome, Rocky Mountain High School, for me forcing him to dive. He did not want to get in a Speedo. He's like, absolutely not. That's not happening. And I'm like, well, I know you. And his dad said the same thing. We know you, kid. You're not just going to go not be active. Like, you need something. You cannot go from snowboarding every day of your life to sitting in a classroom. We know you well enough.
I know you, and I think there's two ways you can go to college. You can go to college either through the Army or you can go through athletics. And he looked at me and goes, well, I think I'm going to dive.
My experience diving, I started in just high school, just at Rocky Mountain High School. I just went to the first practice. It was like 5 a.m, and I was like, I've never done anything like this. So, I just kind of opened it up and trusted my coaches. And from there, I grinded a lot. I did a lot of work, a lot of failing, a lot of pain, a lot of just slapping the water, trying to learn what I needed to learn.
The stinging, he went through so much pain on a daily basis, but he was very coachable and he listened and he wanted to succeed in this new realm. So he did that. Jake was very successful. He did break the records. He did get the eye of University of Utah, who asked him to come on a recruiting trip. And it was really remarkable that a kid who had never dove off a diving board in 9th grade by 11th grade had an offer to go be on the University of Utah team, D1 athletics.
He's never been on a diving board before. And he makes the decision that he's going to dive. But, it went along with what he was doing. And I was like, yeah, he's going to be amazing because he has his air awareness and his commitment. And I knew he'd grind it. And so that's what he did. And right away, he got on the board and he loved it.
Welcome to the first place that I ever dove in my life. It's been a long time. It's been 2 years since I last dove. And, it is what it is. During the time that I was on the team, my mental health suffered quite a bit.
Seeing Jake at his bottom at Utah was the hardest thing I've ever had to endure as his mom. Kids go through their ups and downs, behaving badly, behaving beautifully. Nothing compared to what I saw at him at his lowest at Utah. And I was worried about him. That joy was long gone. There was an emptiness in his eyes. You didn't hear from him as often as I used to. And I just got in the car and drove there. And I didn't know exactly what I was going to find, to be honest. He was really, really low.
Yeah, after I dropped out, it was terrifying. I mean, my family, of course that my family supported me and loved me, but at the same time, it's like I could tell that they were sad. I could tell that they didn't want to be, or I guess not didn't want to be, but they saw so much potential in me and they saw how hard I worked for it. And it was really hard for them to be like, why, like you have so much in front of you. Like, why would you turn away from it?
And I just said, it's time to come home.
I mean, the one part is the dad being afraid and being like, what's going on here? You're moving, you're doing this, and you make this abrupt change. And I wanted to understand what was going on and stuff like that with him and what was happening. And then on the other hand, that's exactly what Jake is going to do, right? Jake's going to follow what's going on inside. He's probably not going to follow what's expected of him or what the culture is saying is right.
The day after I dropped out was one of the most remarkable days of my life. I remember having a conversation with my coach where we were just talking about how I was feeling, how I was doing, and ultimately just made the decision to quit. And I walked straight out of that man's door and I walked straight down those stairs and I felt like I floated down those stairs. I've never felt lighter in my entire life.
If you're going to choose to launch your life, you know, you're leaving school, that's fine. College isn't for everybody. And it was never something I had to have for him. He wrote his own story from being 3 years old. It was more, if you're choosing to now go launch, if you're choosing to go adult now, then that looks like you paying rent. That looks like you owning your responsibilities, your expenses, your life, basically.
Snowboarding and my lifestyle now proves to me every day that, like, you're at the right place. You're with the right people, and you're making sure that you're supported by the right people.
That boy needs to be in the mountains.
If you want that fire, we got that fire. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here to supply ya and take me higher. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Whatever we got is top of the line. Fresh out the pot, it'll blow your mind. Fresh off the lot, it's one of a kind. No way you will not have a wonderful time. Specialize in making people feel lovely. Do what you like, sip on some bubbly. 80 proof is right if you wanna get ugly. You can tonight, take my word, trust me. If you want that fire, we got that fire. Fire, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here to supply ya.
Dumbest, but it was just funny, honestly. Not even dumb, because he landed the trick first try. We get to the hike park, first day of the hike park for Copper Summer Hike Park. I was like, he had to go back to get his freaking headphones. So I was like, all right, you got to do whatever. For me to give you my keys to go back to my car, you got to stomp a cork 7 off the jump. First try, lands it. Nice. Dude, I was like, let's go. Threw my keys down to him.
We need more people to get going. Yo.
We were honestly like, who's this guy? Hopefully he snowboards, like, because he wants to come ride, so we'll see how his skills are. Immediately front lip on, looked beautiful. So I was like, okay, this guy's a ripper. So yeah, that was the first time I met Jake.
This guy Jake has been crushing, dude.
Yeah.
We live up here.
Super
and
stand
this guy is
Yeah, Summit County
ripping.
local. He's been out here a bunch already this season. It's been super fun getting to watch him along with everyone else here.
I could not be more proud of Jake. I have so much respect for the quiet moments, the moments where he is alone, the moments where he's meditating, where he's thinking and planning. I'm proud of his dedication to himself and his family. And I have no fear.
I think Jake will always follow his spirit, right? I'm very clear that is his path, and that is what he'll do. And and I knew, Jake's going to go to the mountains. He's never coming out of the mountains. I mean, that's his home, that's his church, that's his love, right? And I think he'll learn that spirit side of him so deeply up there, and I think he'll share it with people.
So this season I'm going to be able to travel like all over America and go compete and be on courses that are a little bit more my speed, and hopefully put down some tricks that I've been wanting to put down for about 22 years now.
So Jake's aspirations to become a pro snowboarder, he's on the right track, honestly. He's got the mindset. He's putting himself in the position to do that.
Take your time and focus into your own flow. Like, if you do that, you're taken care of, Find your flow. Focus into it, though. You know what I mean? Like, don't just think like, oh, like I'm just here, or, like if you want to get better at something, like hit the flow state and see how good you get. Trust me, like work on that, there's nothing but beauty on the other side of everything that's terrifying.